Okay, let's see. Okay. We seem to be recording. All right, chat room, tuck in, because we're going to start now. It begins in 3, 2, 1.
Boost to level 90 instantly.
You're listening to The Instance.
Hello, what the heck was that? That was weird. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to The Instance. This is The Instance, the World of Warcraft podcast, so you don't have to. Episode, 387. It is Friday, October 31st. It's Halloween, 2014. Scary. There's a show on Halloween. Woo! I'm Scott. That's Dills. Hey, Dills. What's going on?
What's up, Scott? It is Halloween, and that came out of nowhere to me.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Did it? Okay. Well, good.
I feel like I woke up from a long dream.
Yeah. A long winter's nap, and here you are now.
Yeah.
You've been a little busy. I don't know if I know anyone who is as into his baseball team as you are into yours. I think that's fair to say.
Probably not. Yeah. I'm not sure if that's possible to exist. Man, but I'm sure there is. I'm sure there's some people out there who do nothing but watch baseball.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what I did for basically a month.
Yeah.
And the Giants went from being a team that nobody thought had a freaking chance, maybe not even to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
To the winner of all of baseball. We're the best team in baseball.
This is my favorite joke about them winning was all the tweets that would say things like, the last time the Giants won, people were using iPhone 5s and like they're acting like it was some historical moment.
Yeah, there was an Onion article that was like 2-year-old baby thought this would never happen again in his lifetime.
That's pretty good.
But it's insane the bounty, the overflowing bounty that the Giants are getting these days. I don't understand.
Yeah,
I mean, it was in 2010. We were 50 years, since our last one. We never won one in San Francisco.
Yeah,
I had lost I'd gone through 2 of them being lost.
Yeah.
And that was terrible.
Yeah.
I was a little kid when the first time we lost in '89. We had a whole earthquake and all that. It was like a disaster.
Oh, that was a bad year. Yeah.
Yeah.
No
and
doubt
then this year was just, I don't know. Somehow we were the worst team in every single one of those. Everybody was like, yeah, the Giants. Okay, whatever. The Giants, but it's the Nationals. I mean, come on.
Yeah. Don't ask.
But it's the Cardinals. Whatever.
Sure.
And the Royals were the upstart 8-0. They hadn't lost a single game, and there's no way they could beat us. And then, I don't know.
It's crazy. It's crazy how it all turned out. But it's nice because now that fever is over a little bit. You can kind of relax. Well, there's the parade today, but you can relax some and you can prepare for BlizzCon next week.
That is true. I get a nice little chunk of time here to rest my body and to stop poisoning it consistently, like I've been doing. Because, I mean, baseball in the Bay Area is a really big deal now. And, the bars are always packed, and it's just a lot of fun. And you run up pretty high bar tabs pretty easily. You're buying shots for all your friends.
It's amazing what a winning team does to a city.
Yeah.
It can change.
Money comes pouring in.
Yeah. Yeah. The alcohol world continues to thrive under
I was talking to some bartenders, and they were like, yeah, every 2 years we just get this huge boost of money. It's amazing. Like, I'm going to buy a jet ski after this.
That's kind of awesome. Well, all right. It's good to have you back. Terpster's not here, as you can tell. He's so they have this thing in Europe where they decide to switch the clocks back a week or so before us, which means it's too early for him to break away and do a show from where he's working. So he is not here. Although he did tell me he'd ping me later if he somehow squeezed away, and we'll pull him into the show.
All right.
So we'll see how that goes.
Okay.
In the world of Warcraft, it's funny because BlizzCon week next week, it's going to be a big whoop-de-doo, and everyone's going to have a great time, and we're very excited about it. And yes, we're doing a live show from the Hilton AIE Guildhall, like we do every year, or most years when we've been there. And there's a couple of big surprises tied with that. I won't share here, but I'm excited about those. One of them may or may not happen.
Like being pulled right now.
One of them's an awesome surprise that absolutely will happen, and the other one is a very strongly potentialed surprise. So
a potential surprise.
yeah,
huh?
yeah. I wish I could say what it is, because if I was sure it was happening, I'd say. I think I'd go ahead and let it spill. But
It's
because
not an October surprise either. It's a November, early November surprise.
Yeah, it's not a euphemism either. The October surprise is not my favorite sex move, if you know what I'm saying. Yeah, we're heading into that so hard and long that it's very difficult for World of Warcraft and its supporting network of news and views to actually produce much. It's kind of been a dry week and a half since I last had a show up on the feed. So you'll have to forgive us for that, because that's just the way it goes. But we have some speculation, a few bits here and there, and some great calls today. So we'll get to all of that. But I'm excited to report, I feel like my time in WoW current is pretty much caught up as much as I want it to be. I didn't get the cloak, but I find myself not caring all that much. I was in our flex team last night, and I noticed that, probably 2/3 of the group all had their procking fancy capes on, their cloaks. And I thought to myself, oh, those are cool. But then I thought, well, are they that cool? I mean, they've all got one. I feel like it's not as unique as some sort of legendary quests have been in the past in the game. Do I care that much? And the answer came back, no, I don't really care that much. It's not to say that they didn't work hard for it, that they don't deserve it, that they don't look awesome in their cloaks. Good on you guys, especially you Taurens, man, just blazing those things out the back of your big giant backs. That's awesome. I just don't care that much. But I got my heirloom gear with self-same group. We're running a lot of heroic content right now because heroic is dumb easy, just ridiculously simple. And I think Corey said it pretty well in that interview that was last on the feed. If you didn't hear that yet, you should go back and listen. Corey Stockton was on the show, and he, basically said as much that raid tuning right now is completely broken. In the favor of players, mind you. They're not making it. It's not broken in that it's too hard, but since that patch, it's just a cakewalk. And there was talk of a tuning last Tuesday, and I can't tell if it's been tuned because we just tore through stuff like it was made of paper last night. Yeah, on heroic. So I don't know what any of that means, other than to say I feel like I've done all I need to do in Siege. In terms of, what am I enjoying about the content? I think I've gone through all that and have had as much fun as I'm probably going to have, other than, maybe some achievement runs or some other stuff between now and launch day. But my body is ready, dude. Just let's get the new content here.
I mean, everything's all different. Everything's changed. We're getting most of the kind of quality of life improvements are already there from Warlords, and the game feels real good right now.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Just in general. So, and I actually did get some time in between my Giants play, and I did get carried through a heroic run, so I got my heirloom as well.
Oh, very nice. Good. You don't want to leave without that, right? Because it was a guaranteed drop. It'd be dumb not to do it.
Yeah, like, come on, just go get it,
Yeah. What's the big deal?
Okay, here's the thing about the cape, though. Like, the cape, sure, like, the cloak is cool, and, it'd be fun to have, but gear like that, like, I feel like when I look back on pieces of gear that I fretted over for so long to get, I now don't care that and at the time I cared quite a bit. Now I look back and I'm like, okay, whatever. I got that trinket. Remember the trinket? Eye level 264 or whatever, and it would make you turn into different things.
No, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, and you got an ICC, and it would proc, and it would turn you into different types of creatures, and whatever type of creature you turned into, that would give a different buff.
Right.
I wanted that thing so friggin' badly, and I had to wait for like 6 people to get it in front of me before I finally got it.
Mm-hmm.
And I got it right at the tail end of us doing ICC in the first place.
Yep. And
I still have it in my bank, but I can't transmog anything because it's
it's not a visible thing.
Sure. Yeah. Sure. And it's just there. It just sits there. So I mean, I don't know. Like I think my days of worrying so much about whether I get a single piece of gear are gone. I don't think I care the way I used to.
Yeah, I don't know if they've made it less of a. I don't know if it's just less of a draw or if it's just us doing this enough. You get through it enough, and you're like, well, do I care like I used to care?
How many years have I gone through now? Yeah. And sometimes you get gear, and sometimes you don't, and whatever. In the end, like, is my life worse than it would have been if I had it? No, it's not.
Part of it might be that I really like achieving certain things in Diablo that you can't really do in WoW. So, for example, getting a Firebird set for my wizard is a hard thing to do. A lot of it needs to drop. Very little of it is craftable, or it's hard to get the crafting, the recipes for it. So you really want to get that whole thing. And even if you have a set where you have all craftable, it's all a craftable, I can't even say the word craftable.
Crappable.
You can crap it, where you can craft it all. You still can roll higher with a lot of random chance, but you're like, all right, well, I ran this, I rolled this chess piece once and it's pretty good, but let's try it again.
No, that's an interesting thing about Diablo. That's weird. It's like I can go for it again and get a higher roll.
Sure. And so in a weird way, you got to drop without really getting a drop because it's the same piece of gear, just different stats that are more beneficial. And that grind works for me. Also, the end game is a very different kind of end game, so it's not really fair to compare. But I think some of that has put me off the idea of wanting a cloak that everyone has, or a piece of gear dropping from a raid is important. But if I don't get it, well, it's not like I can, even if I did get it, it's not like, well, there's a chance of that one being better some other time or something.
Yeah.
I want enough to be able to keep up. I want to be able to compete.
The thing is, I want the cloak.
Right.
I'm not going to say I don't want it. I'm not going to sit here and go, if it was just given to me, if it dropped off of a creature, I wouldn't want it. That's not what I'm saying at all. But I'm just saying, if I don't get it, if I don't have it, and the expansion moves on, and we don't have a chance now, I'm not going to care. I'm not going to look back with regret.
Well, they just don't give you a lot of reason to care, except for transmog in some cases and some gear.
Sure.
But for the most part, you don't really feel like it was that big of a deal. So I'm glad I got this bow. That's good. I want to run my mage. I got to get my mage through there and get heirlooms for him, just because I'm playing a lot more of him, and I think I'll end up playing a lot more mage than I expected in this expansion.
You think so, huh?
Yeah, I do. I really, really like how mages feel right now. There's just a fun factor that I haven't felt with a mage in a long time, and it's a nice change of pace.
What spec are you running with the mage right now?
Frost currently.
Okay. I just started a mage, little level 10, and now level 10.
Sure.
And that's gonna be my new tune, because I had a mage that was 80, and I transferred it to a different server to play with people, and then never played with those people anymore. I don't know what happened.
Best
There's
20,
a bunch of
best
people
20
I worked with at Apple.
Best $25 you ever spent.
Exactly. Yeah. And now basically my 80 mage is, I'm like, I paid $25 to bring it back. I don't really care.
Yeah.
I kind of want to level another tune. All my tunes are pretty high anyway, so
progression is fun, so why not? Yeah, they're cool, and I keep hearing fire is the way to go for fun.
I started with Arcane. I don't really know why. I just did.
Well, it's an unusual place to start. Usually,
I don't know why.
People are
I'll
always
probably
like,
change it at some point.
Well, you know how the old tradition is you level Frost and then
yeah,
hit end game and then go fire, and then sometimes oh, Arcane's way better right now, and then that's the stupid min max for the rest of your life. I like that. It feels like right now, at least, a lot of these specs with all this squishing and changing and trimming, I feel like you can do a lot more with alternate specs early on and have some fun with it. And plus, leveling's dead easy now. It's not like it's presenting a huge challenge. It used to be. I mean, when we were hunters and we were young hunters, to level through a zone like, I don't know, Stranglethorn Vale or something, that
took some time.
And if you didn't run Beastmaster, you would die all the time. Like that was a bad idea to play survival, which is funny since survival's in the name.
I would spend a lot of time in places like Stranglethorn Vale too.
Yeah.
I would have to, do entire quest lines and maybe even just run around and grind for a little bit, do some skinning and all that before I'd finally end up leaving.
Yeah, because you'd have to kind of level out of there strong enough to be able to handle the next bit of content. And if you didn't have all of that stuff happening with your pet and you didn't have a tank pet before all this tenacity, ferocity changes and all that stuff, you were going to die all the time. Now, I can waltz in there with Marksman, which is a dumb leveling spec, and just kill everything. Yeah, it's just not a big deal. So I'm not even saying that's a pejorative in this case. I still think leveling a tune from 0 to something is fun. Whether I take them all the way to 100 is probably not going to happen. But still, there's something in that like 0 to 30 that I still really get a kick out of, and I'll do occasionally. It's kind of what you're doing, I guess.
I don't know why. I just enjoy that. I enjoy leveling that quickly, I guess, and getting stronger that quickly. It's just fun.
At the end of every commercial that Blizzard is currently running on TV, this happens.
Boost to level 90 instantly.
They are pounding that down people's throat.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, like skip all this crap. You don't need it.
Yeah.
But I also think, though, that it's not just to skip all the crap. It really is they want old players who have left to come back. Because, there's... at the height of the game, it was what, 12 million, right?
Yeah, 12.5 or something.
Yeah, and we're currently right around 7.
I think it wasn't it 5 or 6 or something? I don't remember.
I still think it's like right around 7, but
might be.
Either way, that's, and in that time, there's been some up and down fluctuation. We're probably looking at maybe 6 or 7 million people who have once played and aren't playing anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Fair enough.
Somewhere in that range.
Fun fact, this guy.
Boost to level 90 instantly.
You don't know this, but or you wouldn't know this right off the bat, but I did a little hunting around. This is Miguel. Oh, I forgot his last name already. Miguel Ferrer. However you say his last name.
Miguel or Miguel?
Miguel.
Miguel.
Miguel, not Miguel.
I was going to say Mick Gale. This is a new first name I've never heard of.
I have that wrong. No, Miguel Ferrer. I don't know how you say it. He is the guy who was snorting cocaine off the hooker boobs in the first RoboCop. So if that doesn't ring a bell to you, just look that guy up on IMDb. You'll immediately know him.
That was the first time that snorting cocaine off of somebody else entered my peripheral. I was like, oh, that's a thing people do.
Yeah,
okay.
that was a new thing for me as well. And then his house got blown up because Red from that '70s show came and burned the whole place down.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
But anyway, that's that guy, and he does a lot of voice work these days.
Dangerous town, man.
Yep. So listen to it clearly. You can hear it.
Boost to level 90 instantly.
And he's on a lot of TV stuff now and other things.
You watch a lot of movies, Scott.
Yeah, sure.
The new RoboCop, did you see it?
I haven't seen it. You'd think I would. It seems
I
like
haven't seen it either, but it's on my. We have like a server now for our house, so we can watch like the same movies if we upload them to the server. RoboCop's on there.
Like a Flex server, Plex rather.
Yeah. So we're all on Plex, yeah.
Yeah, Plex is good.
Like in all houses or in all rooms of the house, we can watch the same movies if we want. But yeah, we got RoboCop in there, and I'm like, should I watch this? Is this worth 2 hours of my time?
I keep hearing it's all right.
To tell me that it is or isn't.
I keep hearing it's all right.
Yeah?
Yeah, I hear it's not, if you take it for what it is, which is a remake of a thing that we all think is better than it was, then it's fine. Okay. That's what I've heard. So I just need to settle on in and watch it myself. He's no Peter Weller, I'll tell you that much.
Oh, I'm sure he can't be. There's no way.
Yeah, let's do some news.
Big news of the week.
Big news of the week this week brought to you by DoghouseSystems.com. Ooh, and I just got a late-breaking message from them. Let's see what it is. Make sure that it's not something we're going to bring up. Oh, look at this. They're going to be giving away 2 complete systems at BlizzCon, along with some Jinx swag. All people have to do is stop by the Jinx booth, which will be right there on the big floor. And I'll be spending some time there as well. So yes, big thanks to them for letting me know. That's DoghouseSystems.com for the best gaming rigs on the planet. /Blizzard. You can see the Blizzard machines, and I'm guessing that these ones are giving away. I could be dead wrong on this, but I'll bet you those have those side panels on them. Makes sense. It's a Blizzard, for heaven's sakes. Or it's at BlizzCon. Anyway, do go check out what they have on offer at DoghouseSystems.com. Use the code Henry as always for double the memory. At DoghouseSystems.com. Free computers at BlizzCon. Ooh, that's exciting business right there. All right, one thing Blizzard wants you to know.
Boost to level 90 instantly.
And what else? Metallica's coming to perform there at the BlizzCon. I wanted to just briefly mention this. It seems like a pretty good get to me.
It is. Are you
going to do that Saturday night?
One of the biggest bands of all time.
Are you going to go to that? Are you going to be there for that? All right. I've seen them twice. I don't know if I need to again. Yeah, but this is Metallica at BlizzCon. Short lines, though, is what this means. It means I can go do whatever the stuff they have on display, and I can get in and get out much quicker than I would. Like, that worked great last year when Blink-182 was playing, and I didn't go to that. So I don't. It's not me being an old man. I feel like I've seen enough Metallica in my life, twice in concert.
I've never seen them one time in concert.
Oh well, then you should totally go.
I'm definitely gonna go.
Yeah, you shouldn't miss that.
I mean, Garrett was like crapping all over Metallica on the Angry Chicken. He was like, they're lame. Yeah. And a lot of people have this thought about Metallica now because of the whole Napster thing.
Napster bad.
Yeah, they were the ones who were very outspoken in defense of really rich artists. So they got a lot of flack for that. But that doesn't mean that some of those songs aren't some of my favorites.
Oh, some of the greatest stuff ever, dude. No, they deserve a position. I mean, they weathered the storm that was the destruction of heavy metal in the 80s and the introduction of grunge and everything else that took its place. And they were different enough and real enough that they could pass through that phase and not be considered Poison or Cinderella or whatever other dumb hair band was big before that crashed. And they made it through because, you know, the music's rad and they're cool and they
really good. Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with Metallica.
Really good albums. Yeah. Multiple really good albums. And yes, the newer stuff isn't really that great because they, you know, cut the hair off and then got a little more kind of power heavy rock rather than metal, which is what they should be doing. They should just be doing guitar driven metal. But whatever, I don't care. They'll play the old stuff. I'll enjoy it. I'll love it, and it'll be great.
Yeah, Dinner Sandman. Come on, it's one of the greatest anthems of all time.
Yeah, and it's the first song every guy learns how to play on guitar.
Yeah, I guess I'm just
the intro though. They know just the intro, and then that's it.
This is more about where I am at this point in my life, where concerts just don't do anything for me anymore. It's like, I could put that on my phone. I don't need this sweaty mess.
It depends because if there's certain bands that just basically play the you know their songs, but live, right? And that's essentially what you're doing. You're essentially watching them recreate the song that you can already just put on whenever you feel like it, right?
Yeah.
But there are certain bands where you go see them live and it's a different experience every time, and they're incredibly entertaining. So those are the kind of bands I will always consistently go see. But yeah, there's certain bands I've gone and seen and be like, well, I could have just listened to this record. There's nothing happening here that I need to see.
This will be there'll be complete meltdown freakouts every time anyone hears the first chords of Enter Sandman or Unforgiven or any of their songs that have all this nostalgia for people, and it's going to be a giant screaming pile of crazy. So
yeah, people are going to get into this, and that's cool. And this is a really big deal. I mean, to get a band this massive to play at your nerd concert, you know, at your nerd convention is pretty cool.
Yeah,
I mean,
I feel like past them there isn't much. You start getting into the stratosphere. Like I know you
set the bar pretty high.
Sure, U2 would be like your next. I mean, who else is bigger in arenas? I can't think of too many. It's like U2.
Well, yeah, but U2 I don't think they would ever be a good fit.
Oh hell no, hell no. But I mean, in terms of just size of act, though, Metallica is up there. For sure. So good.
I would like to see them go a little more eclectic though. Like they could do some weird stuff, and I think it would be really cool. Get some Primus going.
Primus, dude.
You know?
They have a new album out. Why not?
Yeah. And have you listened to it?
I have. It's weird as hell.
It's the coolest thing ever.
It's really weird. It's all.
It's weird, but it's
all Willy Wonka
chocolate factory thing. Yeah.
It's so weird.
Yeah.
I tried to make Kim listen to it, and she's like, "This is a little too weird for me." I said, "Well, it's Primus."
It's Primus, yeah. I mean, sure they have their big hits, and everyone goes, "Yeah, that's cool, whatever." But if you listen to the full albums, there's always weird stuff.
It's something else, man. And ironically, that dude was almost the bassist. He auditioned to be bassist for those guys.
Auditioned for Metallica, correct?
That's right.
Yeah. But they were like, "No, you're too good, man. Yeah. Like, we need you to just do quarter notes on the bass while we, you know, jerk ourselves off on our guitars over here. I mean, what you're gonna want to do is a little bit too much."
Yeah, and tell the world about Jerry and how he was a race car driver. What else? Warlords of Draenor beta ends Monday the 3rd, so this coming Monday. You got a couple days left if you have installed it and have been putting it off.
At this point, what's really, unless you're trying to do like some raids or something, like what's really the point
That's
here?
That's it, I think.
You know? Yeah, so if you're trying to get a server first level 100 or whatever, and you need to get your strategy together, that's the reason to still be playing the beta. But most of the stuff that you really would care about as a everyday player of WoW is already in your game.
Yeah.
So
in a way, I was like, well, wait, I kind of already have a lot of why I went to the beta in the first place. This patching contained
I haven't
a lot
touched
of
the
that.
beta since the patch.
So what's the point? So yeah, it makes sense. That thing will go away. We'll have BlizzCon the following week. We'll have the expansion. Wow. Everyone be safe, all right? If you want to play this thing, be safe going and getting from BlizzCon. Don't do anything dumb. Don't jump out in front of traffic. You know, the game is right there. If you want to play this game, don't be dumb. That's all I'm saying. That's my little PSA. Yeah, a little safety warning. I'm like McGruff the crime dog over here.
Yep, the more you know.
That's right. Let's see what else. Oh, they're giving away 7 free days to players. Seems like a no-brainer if you're sort of trying to decide if you want to get back in or not. They're going to
everything is trying to get these. What I'm estimating is around 7 million or so people.
Yeah.
To give it a shot. Come on back.
Give us a prediction here. Game. Do you think? I mean, I know that a lot of pre-orders are already putting them back in some good graces on the numbers from their last earnings call. But if you had to predict how many how many people do they snag with things like
Boost to level 90 instantly.
and 7 free days and all this stuff? Do you think they nab a couple million, 500,000?
Like, they get it to like 8.5 at some point.
All right,
Yeah,
that's a bold prediction, but I can get behind that. I can get behind that. That'd be great. I mean, if they did that, that would be huge for shareholders, and
I mean, that's on the high end of the prediction right now, but yeah, I think it's totally feasible.
We still don't know what the hell that 2-hour block is that they haven't filled in on the schedule. We don't know what that is.
No, but there's something.
Yeah, I was talking to Chris over email, and I'm not trying to squeeze info out of people. That's not my deal. But I just said, oh man, it's all gonna be crazy, and he goes, keep your eyes open or something like that, and I'm like, damn it, well, you can't do this to me. And then I think Russell had made some comment that it's going to be an amazing year, which could mean nothing. It could mean, oh, it's just a regular BlizzCon. We're all going to have a good time.
It's always an amazing year.
But I have a feeling these guys are all holding tight onto some seriously rad goings on that we just don't know about yet. And I don't know if it's WoW related. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I mean, I feel like the loss of Titan and the tightening up of other projects and Hearthstone being a huge hit all leads me to believe that whatever this big block of 2 hours is, or if there's something new to announce, it is tied into either. I have a very strong feeling about StarCraft getting some sort of big love at this event this year, outside of normal StarCraft, to expand that universe some or something. But I'll bet you there's more WoW related things, whether they're smaller projects again, or on the scale of whatever they're doing with Heroes. Like Warcraft is. I think there's been a coming to Jesus over there where they all kind of went, we really just need to focus on these core IPs and build better game experiences around them. That may mean new games, smaller games, mobile games, but that's what I think we're going to get. I don't think it's going to be, and we've got another hidden MMO that we were working on while Titan was in development. I don't think that's going to happen.
No, I'm not really seeing that. I think World of Warcraft, it's like we can all say it's going to be the biggest MMO for a while still. So working on a new one isn't necessarily the smartest way to go. So yeah, I think we're going to get either a new style of game or another game within one of these universes.
Yeah, I'd play whatever you want to make in the StarCraft universe. I really would. I love that place. I love everything about that place. I'm not really into RTSs right now, but I'm looking forward to that expansion if that gets talked about. There's no question about that.
I mean, I think it's rich enough. I think there's room for more characters to be introduced for sure.
Yeah,
but I think definitely there's a lot that can be done within that. So
squad-based shooter, I'm in. Put me in. FPS, I'm ready. My body is ready. New Funko toys are coming. Oh no, look at this. Dark Below. Remember Dark Below? We thought,
yeah, Dark Below. We thought for sure that was a new expansion.
Totally.
We were saying that was going to be some sort of like the old gods or something.
Yep.
So we're going to be going under the earth.
And Blizzard correct me if I'm wrong, and my memory may be fading here, but I thought that it was Blizzard that trademarked the name, or had put in a trademark for it, or had registered domains or something. I thought that was actually Blizzard doing all of that. Maybe it was Activision.
Activision Blizzard, right? So
I guess. So what's the difference? They use the name in the articles and it's the same, but it turns out it's a Destiny thing after all this time.
After all this time, yeah.
Nothing to do with WoW. It's their new Destiny expansion, which hits later this year and is it's fine.
It feels very quick to me.
For Destiny, you mean?
To be like, we're already. I mean, I don't know. I haven't played it. So.
I have, and I can tell you that game. I know a lot of people really like it. This is not me disparaging those people, but I bought it and was very excited about it and played a bunch of it, and I got bored real quick. And I feel like this is them trying to put the best foot forward to say, look, we are going to support this and quickly with new content.
Yeah, I mean, if content's that fast, then that game could have a nice long run. Yeah, but
that's what they want. They've publicly said 10-year cycle on that thing, which is crazy to me. But whatever.
Someone's ringing my doorbell, and I don't think anyone else is here. So
you should go get that
going on, and I'll be right back.
No problem. We're going to pause right here, folks, and take a small break. In fact, you know what we'll do? Let's listen to Invincible by Russell Brower. Time for me to talk to you guys about Audible.com. Audible.com. Oh, man, I love Audible. Not just because they have over 150,000 titles to choose from from their huge library of audio content. I love fantasy, I love science fiction, and I love Audible. And I go there, and I find the books I like, and I put them on my iPhone, and I listen to them. You can do that on your Android phone, your iPod, your whatever your device is. It works. You know they're owned by Amazon now, which means you got all sorts of backing. Man, I love these guys. Get a free audiobook today on us. Why not? It's so easy. Go to audiblepodcast.com/wow and get a free audiobook download of your choice. You don't have to take my recommendations. Do your own. That's audiblepodcast.com/wow. Get a free audiobook today. Still such a good song. Who's the door? Oh, he's not back yet. We're gonna pause. Hold on to your butts. It's a good place to save anyway. Oh, that's interesting. Has that not been working this whole time? And he's back.
All right.
Willie Dills Gregory. All right, hang on. I gotta.
The upstairs neighbor's locked out. And
oh, that's no good.
An elderly woman who goes up. She lives on the very top floor.
Yeah.
So she has to walk up like all these stairs every single time. It's like 3 floors or something up.
Oh, that's no good.
And I don't know her name yet. And I feel like at this point I'm past the point where I can ask. Like I've lived here for long enough. I've been here for like about 3 years or something.
Yeah.
And if I ask at this point, it's just going to be really awkward. So.
I love those kind of social things.
Yeah.
All right, we're back. Well, that was nice of you to help her out, though. That's what Dills does. He's a Boy Scout, really. I
am. I earned my help your neighbor get inside when it's raining outside badge just now.
That's awesome. All right, where the heck were we here? Oh, Funko toys coming to WoW. So these are those. I have a bunch over there. There's like the Lich King and Diablo and Tyrael and these those little pop toy looking big-headed things. People collect them. They're like $10 is all. They do really well. They're 3.7 inches tall, and they are adding a whole new bunch of these vinyl collectibles to the lineup. And here's what they are. We got Thrall, former war chief Thrall. He's in there. Leader of the Forsaken, Sylvanas. She's in there. Did they think we had forgotten? Let's see. We got what they refer to in this article on Joystick as, and one of those lovable gargling fishmen, a Murloc.
Mm-hmm. That's what I always think when I see Murlocs. I'm like, oh, it's a lovable gargling fish man. Look at that.
Oh, a little fish man. Anyway, these all, let's see, they're World of Warcraft Series 2 figures are released in November. Thrall, Sylvanas, and the Murloc will cost $10 a piece, and there is a Deathwing one that'll sell for $16. I don't know why that one's more.
I feel like Murlocs are closer to frogs though than fish.
Yeah.
I feel like they're more, amphibious little whatever. Like I don't see gills on them, and
it's like a frog got it on with a fish. How about that?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
I guess
that's some pretty hot fan fiction right there. Blizzard killed an anti-exploit grinding mechanic because people were pissed. Here's how it went. They put in something that was designed to stop people from just sort of parking in one area and killing easy-to-kill high XP spawns for no reason over and over, just to exploit the system and get a bunch of XP. So bots were doing it, and it's, it makes sense they would come up with a way to sort of try to attack that sort of thing. Seems kind of late in the game to do that, but whatever. They put this thing in that's called the anti-grind mechanic. It's intended to be an anti-exploit mechanic that programmatically addresses power leveling abuses with the aim of letting us reward legitimate players more generously. In the past, we've had little choice but to drastically reduce the experience awarded by certain respawning bosses or enemies that are locked in combat with other NPCs, because otherwise it would be abused. That said, clearly the implementation is far too strict, and it's triggering. Is triggering from a wide variety of normal activity. So they are disabling the functionality. They're taking it out until they get it working, and they'll talk about it in the near future. But players were up in arms. because I guess it was punishing people for just straight up like, well, wait, kill that thing.
Stuff.
That sucked. Why did that happen?
I mean, I like the idea. I like the idea behind it, which is allow us to reward people for these kills without allowing bots to just get away with murder, essentially, with just going and just repeatably killing stuff that gives a lot of XP for how much time it takes.
Does it seem weird that it's 10 years in and now we're doing one of these though? It seems late.
Yeah. I mean, there's been other measures to combat this, but yeah,
seems late.
Yeah, it's I don't know. Right, the way to deal with botting is a very tricky thing, though. It's not like there's no easy answer to this kind of stuff.
No,
because you can't really penalize what players would be doing anyway, which you want to encourage players to be doing. So
yeah, plus I'm guessing this stuff ramps up as they get close to a new expansion because they've got bots and farmers and people out there trying to get ready to sell stuff to new players or existings, and Blizzard's hoping that if this message
boost to level 90 instantly,
that gets into people's heads, then they'll know they can do it legit. They don't have to go buy one. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't even think I considered that, by the way. Yes, this is a way to get old players back, and yes, it's a great way to get existing players a character up to 90 so that they got more to play. But a huge part of this might simply be to thwart the need for people to pay for leveled characters.
Yeah,
because there he is, all prepackaged and done, legit.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
Some confusion about Mythic Raiding continues to persist. Blizzard has addressed this. Mythic lockouts. Regarding those, I've seen some confusion over Mythic Raiding. I can't talk today. Raiding lately, and wanted to clarify. Mythic difficulties lockouts work differently than other raiding difficulties. Raid Finder, Normal, Heroic, etc. In Mythic difficulty, you are bound to the raid ID. And somebody in our raid last night was talking about how hard even current content is in Mythic. Like, it's ridiculously chaotic, insane, and is not fun, is what he said.
Yeah.
And he's a big-time raider dude that does a lot of heroic stuff all the week. No, I can't remember who said it. Okay. But it was one of these guys where he always knows stuff. And he seems to think Mythic is beyond. Obviously, it's for a different class of player. All right, this is for a player who wants the absolute hardest, grindiest challenge possible. Yeah. That player base exists, obviously, or Blizzard wouldn't do it. But the way he described it did not sound like a thing I am interested in at all. But I don't know. I mean, I haven't tried it, so I don't know. I didn't do anything on the beta to mess with Mythic at all. So we'll see. Anyway, it says, in a Mythic difficulty, you are bound to the raid ID. This means if you join a Mythic raid, defeat the first boss, thereby binding you to the Mythic raid ID. By killing that boss, that's what you do. And leave, you return to the same raid. If the raid continues to defeat boss 2 and 3 while you're gone, you will return to the raid with those bosses already defeated. For that reason, it is important to stick together with the same group of people as much as possible for Mythic difficulty. I mean, Mythic just sounds like early raiding to me.
Yeah, it's just how it always was for everything else.
In a weird way, it's like vanilla in both.
So this is what we're used to, and then the other stuff is now different.
Yeah, so get used to what you're used to, I guess is what they're saying.
Get used to what you already were used to.
That makes perfect sense.
Hear ye, hear ye.
Why, it's the Town Crier.
It is the Town Crier, brought to you by Retro Magazine, video game magazine dedicated to retro video games from years past. It's in print and digital, and it's dedicated to all that classic gaming goodness and indie games that are coming out today. It features historical game and console retrospectives, interviews with game industry legends. These guys are friends of mine, and I love them. I also do a comic for this magazine, which also makes me happy. If you guys ever want to see some of my art, you can see it in the back of this magazine. They do exclusive columns from industry prolific writers, personalities, great cover art, and a comic from me, as I mentioned before. Help fund a bigger and better retro magazine at readretro.com/Kickstarter. That's readretro.com/Kickstarter. Our phone number to call is 801-471-0462. That's 801-471-0462. Or you can email us, theinstance@gmail.com. We have some calls, and it begins with this one.
Hey guys, this is Ray from Pittsburgh calling for the instance. With the upcoming expansion, I know there's going to be a lot of focus on Gramash and Garrosh, their relationship, and the father-son relationship between Thrall and Duratan. And I was wondering if you guys knew if Garrod, the son of Duratan, the father of Duratan, was going to be making an appearance finally. To my knowledge, I don't think he's ever shown in any of the games yet.
I believe that he will not be, because you're not going to get.
I haven't heard anything about it.
You're not going to get Grandpa as well, is what I'm saying. Like, it's already going to be enough. I mean, this is. I don't have any. I have no inside info on this, but I think A, we would have heard something by now, and B, that's just a lot to say. Grandson, father, and grandfather.
Yeah,
that's a lot of story, dude. Just for that part of this whole story arc, it's just too much. And besides, I mean, I know it's an alternate universe and stuff, and an alternate timeline, but I don't think he was around during the portal part, was he? This is when we need Terpster. He knows this stuff.
Yeah, Terpster would know this stuff.
I
did not. I have not heard the name uttered a single time in anything that I've read or seen.
Yeah.
So
I'm just gonna throw it out there though. My money is on he will not be in there.
Yeah.
He may be referenced, not going to be a key part of the story. Next up, next expansion.
This is Shepard from the Sargeras server, and I was just wanting to ask you about the next expansion. I know that we haven't even seen Warlords of Draenor hit yet, but I was wondering what they're going to do about the leveling cap that's currently at 100. 100 feels really nice, but it's going to feel really strange if they increase it to 105 or 110. I was wondering if you thought they might squish the level numbers in the same way that they squished the stats, where you might see all the characters for the next expansion start at level 50 and go to 55 or 60. What are your thoughts on that? Thanks, guys. Love the show. I actually paused it listening to it to call in.
Okay, great question. I think that there's no way they don't keep doing it. I agree that 100 is a sexy number, and it works on lots of levels. But to go to 105 and 110 does seem strange. But that's what they're going to have to do. There's no way. It's
not that strange. I mean, it's just the next.
It's just the next 10 levels, sure.
Just because 100 is like 100 doesn't really mean anything in the grand scheme of things. It's just 100 is the same as 90 is the same as 80 is the same as 70.
But I just mean it's got more of a hardcore meaning to say. If you said we're squishing that so everyone starts at 50, that's just weird. Like that makes you feel like you.
But I don't know. This is just people have this weird. Like that every time we get to an exact multiple, that somehow that it has more significance. Like they're all just another integer on the way.
Yeah.
In reality, so
it's like you're my math teacher all of a sudden. I like this. Yeah. This is good. No, I agree 100%. I don't think there's any reason for them to do that, and it would be weird. And if they did, even no matter how they justified it, that would be a stone too far. I feel like the number squish on the whole is no big deal because these are a lot of numbers that. Damage numbers are things that don't really mean anything. They're just relative to something else. But your level, man, you worked hard to get to 100. You don't want to go back to 50.
No, you don't want to be back to 50. But they could do something like Paragon levels at some point, maybe.
Yeah, I'd be down with that.
It's just.
That's a really good point.
Like 100 should be the absolute cap. They could say that rather than, starting on the road from 100 to 110, you start with, whatever they want to call it, whatever, it's not Paragon, obviously, that's Diablo, but they would come up with some other alternate name, and then you'd be grinding those up.
So you'd be 100, with 10 Paragon or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd be all right with that.
Yeah.
That'd be okay.
They could even make that like some sort of infinite whatever, where it could continue to go as long as you wanted it to, because then the next expansion they could add some new kind of level or whatever the hell they want to do.
Yeah.
They could go that route if they felt like that was necessary. Again, though, I just feel like 100 is the same as 1, honestly, and the same as 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. It's just another number along the way.
Yeah, put some zeros on there and you're good.
Because it's exactly 100. I don't know.
But how people's brains
work. That's just the thing people have come up with is like that somehow 10 means more than 11.
Well, I remember a point when my kids were little, if you put money out in front of them and it was a stack of ones, let's say it was a stack of 5 ones, and then you put a 5 out, or a 10. And you said, all right, which do you want? Well, they would go for the stack of ones because in their mind,
more money.
More money. Yeah, because there were 5 of these and only 1 of those, even though that was double the money. They just, that concept couldn't come through. And I think there's just a piece of people where they struggle with the idea of a number changing, even though it really doesn't mean anything. In their heads, it does, because they're still 3 years old in their hearts.
Well, but it's also, we celebrate the 50th anniversary of whatever. Yeah. We celebrate the 10th anniversary of whatever, even though it's just another year that went by. So it's like the same amount as, I don't know. But we've romanticized as a society these even numbers along the way.
This is
somehow
true.
they mean more.
This is true. All right, we got a call about moral choices.
Hi, Instance Show. I wanted to know what you guys thought about the quest from the recent patch that has an NPC asking you to poison the ogre's food supplies so that they die a slow and painful death. I thought that was some delicious moral complexity. How do I know the ogres deserve a slow and painful death? What if an ogre's dog eats some of the food? Or if they feed it to prisoners? As the Alliance, shouldn't I take the higher road? In reality, I just ran through the mobs like a freight train, but I really enjoyed that Blizzard introduced such an emotionally charged quest line. It made me think. It raised the stakes, made my actions feel valuable. What did you guys think of the quest? Or the whole notion of introducing serious moral complexity in WoW? Can't wait to see you guys at BlizzCon. Have a good one.
All right, cool. We look forward to seeing you as well. I actually had the same question when I saw it, and it reminded me of the, okay, I don't know if you remember
the torture
this.
quest.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
That was an early, is that a Wrath quest? I think it was.
Wrath, yeah. Yeah, you actually had to, like, go get an instrument of torture. And then once you had it, then you had to come back and you had to continue to torture the prisoner until the prisoner finally gave up.
Oh, yeah, it was a Death Knight quest, I want to say, in the Death Knight area.
I think there's a few instances of torture. There's another one that you just did in crap. Well, it was like an early level, like 81 or I don't know. I can't even remember now.
Yeah. But
it was, or 71 or whatever it was. It was like right at the beginning.
Yeah.
You did this and you went up into this tower and you shocked this dude like 3 times.
Well, the Quel'Danis dailies were a form of torture. Get it? Yeah, no, the game has sometimes broached these things. That was a huge controversy because at the time, waterboarding and all that stuff was the big, was all the conversation. So I feel like the torture one may have gotten a little more play in the negative light than this would, because this one feels there's a quest similar to this in not quest, but a mechanic in Shadow of Mordor where you poison these orc camp grog pots. And they come over there to drink them, and then they all kind of choke to death and die. Or they blame each other for why they're poisoned, and they fight. And it's kind of the same thing. I think the assumption there is these are ogres, and who cares? Mm-hmm. But no one ever thinks of the ogre children in the cave eating poison.
Well, in WoW, all the monstrous-looking humanoids are actually fully, they're fleshed out people and not people, but
yeah, humanoids.
People.
Humanoids,
well,
sure.
They have goals and aims and emotions and whatever. So yeah, it's you're poisoning an ogre. Maybe the ogre is against you, but he goes home to his ogre family.
Yeah,
and he sits down and they have ogre dinner, whatever that is. Probably humans or whatever. Right? They break the bones of little humans and pass that around the table. But it is. It's a moral dilemma for sure.
Sure.
And I don't think I actually did this quest, but I heard about it already. And I'm not sure, are you forced to decide?
No, so
put or not, or it's just either if you decide not to do it, don't do the quest.
No, you just do it. It's the same as the torture one, in that if you were going to do the quest, you had to do it.
So essentially, it would only really count as Blizzard giving you moral decisions if they allowed you to decide not to do it.
Good point.
And essentially what they're doing is just putting it in without. So yeah, you could be a pacifist panda and take forever to level, but you're not even playing the game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
right. Totally agree. One final call. This is the big things behind. I don't know what this meant, so I'll play it.
Hey, Scott, Dills, and Terpster. This is Gorgonaut from Earthen Ring, and I have this theory that I'd like you to indulge me with. So basically, with the events that are happening in the upcoming expansion, Warlords of Draenor, we're being pulled away from Azeroth for the duration. I mean, we're basically going to be stuck away from all of the action that's going on back home. And my question is this. Being separated, so would that then set the stage for Blizzard to come in and maybe do something behind our backs insofar as a Warcraft 4 giant political events taking place while we are effectively away and out of action trying to fend off the Orcish hordes?
That's a very good point. I don't think that's going to be true because you can travel to all these places still. So
yeah, I mean, they're still available to go to, and you'll probably be back and forth a little bit. But
yeah,
no, I mean, definitely that could be part of the storyline is that, while you were off, all this stuff was happening back home. I mean, that's like the Robin Hood story, right? That's
sure.
They were all off on the Crusades, and back home, the sheriff of
it's
Nottingham was
it's
running
not
rampant. And
it's not like the game hasn't done a big phased thing where, you know, I remember in Cataclysm when you went back to Orgrimmar or the Undercity bits, everything's changed. It's like, whoa, what's going on there? Actually, Undercity was Wrath, but the point is that all that stuff changed and was kind of permanently changed after you got to a certain point. So they sure could. But
yeah, absolutely. It would be interesting.
But it's not like we're locked out of there until 100 and then go back and go, oh no, we were gone so long. We'll be back and forth. So it's not like they can do this without us noticing, or it's just going to be a big phase shift.
Well, just at the end of this expansion, when the next expansion comes out, they could just say, you know, while you guys were gone fighting, you know, you guys went through the portal again. You were fighting all the warlords. Stuff was, you know, political upheaval was occurring back home, and you know, now we have to fight. Essentially, it could be like something in the Alliance this time. You know,
yeah, those jerks,
corrupt Alliance leader,
bastards, with a scar across his face.
I mean, if the Horde's always going to be the ones who get corrupt and ruin everything, at some point, an Alliance guy has to go.
Yeah,
has to go bad, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't want.
They can't all be good all the time.
Kargath needs to not be that guy. I'll tell you who I want to go bad. I want Jaina to lose it and go like full brood war
Jaina.
Queen. Yeah.
Remember we had the theory that Jaina was going to be corrupted Jaina, and
I want her to go. She needs to go Zerg Queen, but with mage stuff, and just kind of lose it and like eat Dalaran or something. Like something bad's has to happen with her. That's what I want.
Yeah.
All right. That's your calls. I do have one email here I wanted to mention from Molly, who's a member of the community and awesome. Says, hey guys, I know you get the officers' emails, and therefore I probably already know about the 2 Ghoul for School, but was wondering if perhaps you could mention this on one of your shows. In particular, the instance would be awesome, and we'd love the publicity. If you go to tiny.cc/forum AIE, that'll give you all the information you need to know. That's tiny.cc/forum AIE. I think what they're doing may be today, so get on that.
I think it is today, actually, so yeah you better join now.
Now's the time. All right. I'm going to have a little fun here with something. I'm springing this on you a little bit, but here goes. So here's this. All right, we're going to play a little game show with Dills. And I got to grab my cards. Hold on. Just take me a second. Somebody a couple of weeks ago suggested that we come back and do Trivial Pursuit again from World of Warcraft Trivial Pursuit Edition.
Oh, God, I'm going to be terrible at this.
And I thought that was a good deal. And since we don't have Terpster here, who's Mr. Lore Nerd, we'll let you choose categories that perhaps are less lore-y and more game-related. But here are your options, and we'll give you 3 today, so you have a best out of 3 opportunity there, Dills.
Sure.
Your options are... Hold on. Where's my little card to tell me what those mean? Hold on. Ah, crap.
I like that this is the 70s game show music.
I'm super prepared, is what you can tell.
Yeah, clearly.
From this. All right, so here's what you need to do. Geography.
I have a question for you, Scott. Where is the card that tells you what these mean?
Here are your categories, and you get to choose which one you want for all 3 of these. So we'll start with the first one. You can do geography, player characters, lore, loot, villains, or encounters.
Ooh. I'll try encounters for 500, Scott.
Encounters for 500. Let's see what your question is. What is one of the power-ups that can be obtained in Warsong Gulch? Hey, a PvP question.
Berserk.
Let's find out if you're correct. Berserking is correct. You got it. Restoration and speed were also acceptable. Nicely done. Yes. 1 for 3 so far. We're 1 for 1. Here we go. All right, next category. Villains, loot, lore, encounters, player characters, or geography.
Player characters.
All right, player characters. What is the Forsaken racial ability that allows them to feed off dead bodies to regain their health?
Oh, crap.
I don't know if this is still true or not, but it was at the time.
I always just bind it to my bar and never look at it again. I have to know the name of it?
Yep.
Cannibalize.
You are correct. Nicely done.
All right.
Jeez, look at you. All right.
That's just if I were to name it.
Right.
But yeah.
All right. Fair enough. Final question. Geography, player characters, lore, loot, villains, or encounters.
Oh, wait. Sorry. Wait, did I already do encounters?
You did. But you can do that again if you want. Whatever you want.
Let's go with loot. Sure.
All right.
I have to like know the name of a piece of gear though. It's probably gonna be tough.
Let's find out on loot. Okay, here we go. Loot. Whoops, I got the wrong one. Purple. Okay. An orange gem will provide socket bonuses for which 2 other gem colors?
Oh, well, yellow and red.
You are. Hold on. Let me check with the judges. Correct. Nicely done, Dills. He has successfully navigated. I can't believe it. That was amazing.
3 for 3.
We'll do more of these as the show goes on because I think it's fun and I need.
Cool.
No one ever wants to play this game with me here, so I may as well play it with you guys on the air.
All right.
Well done. All right. I guess that's it. We are done with the show. Once again, make sure if you want to be a part of the show via calls and emails, you use our email and our call number. The call number for voicemails, 801-471-0462. Leave a nice short, interesting message. Not a long one. Anything over a minute pretty much just gets ignored. So try to keep them under that. Theinstance@gmail.com is the email address. I think that's going to do it. Dills, you got anything going on this week we should tell people about?
Pretty much just going to BlizzCon, so I'll see everybody there, and really looking forward to it. There's going to be, I don't know, man, there's going to be so much going on.
Yeah.
And we're also doing Disneyland twice.
Whoa, what? When are you fitting that in?
Thursday and Sunday.
Good Lord. That's great.
Yeah. So Thursday and Sunday will be Disneyland. Then I'll be at the Wowhead/Hearthhead party on Friday. I'll be bowling on Friday or Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Thursday. And then Friday there'll be so much going on. And then Saturday, of course. And then Sunday I leave, but I don't leave until the evening. So
very nice.
I do a little more Disneyland then. And then yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be nuts. The whole thing's gonna be nuts.
Then we're back to life. I've got I'll be at most of those parties that are happening for bits and pieces. I'll be at the World of Podcast thing for a bit Thursday. I'll be at the meet and greet for the community stuff. I'll be at I'm gonna stop by the Wowhead thing. Like there's about 20 things that I've promised I'll peek into. But if you're interested in seeing us do a live episode of The Instance and you're there at BlizzCon, there's first of all, even if you're not, we'll be live streaming it, so watch for Twitter.
We're doing that on Saturday, correct?
Yeah, Saturday. Either before or after the concert. It's all still being determined. I don't know what works better or how it'll go. But yeah, if you see us, here's my main point. If you see us, any of us, Terpster will be there as well. Stop us, say hi, take pictures. That's half the reason we go, is to hang out with you guys and to see listeners and to chat. So do not be afraid to do that, okay? Okay, all right. It's going to do it for us. Theinstance@gmail.com is our email address. Theinstance.net is our website. @InstanceShow is our Twitter feed, so you can use that anytime you feel like it. Our theme brought to you by Matthew Oxley. Our intern is Paul Swickard. More shows like this at frogpants.com. That's going to do it for us, for me, for Dills, and for Terpster, who is literally an hour behind us. We'll see you next time. Bye.
BlizzCon, woo!
Lovely. Nicely done.
Had to be a little BlizzCon woo girl there for a second.
I liked it. I like it.
I am so friggin' excited, but I just can't believe it's actually about to happen.
I know. It's literally what?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, what do we have? 4 days, 5 days, 6 days?
Yeah.
I mean, today, right now, we will know what the Blizzard hidden thing is because we'll be sitting in that thing finding out.
Yeah.
Next week. Like, that's how close this is. Good Lord. All right. Well, have a hell of a day. Have fun at that parade. Don't get eaten by, I don't know what you get eaten by there. No earthquakes, all that kind of stuff. And I'm looking forward to seeing you next week, man.
I know.
It's going to be fun. Stay out of trouble.
All right, you too.
See you later, brother.
Bye.
All righty. Thank you, guys.